Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Nash County, where a parent is now facing charges after bringing a small handgun to an elementary school. Nash County deputies say it happened yesterday at Hubert Elementary School after the school's security system flagged a potential weapon during a routine screening. Now, school officials found the firearm in Nikia Rick's bag, and she was charged with carrying a concealed gun and possession of a gun on educational property, according to a news release. Now, deputies say while it appears to be a simple oversight by the parent, people who bring weapons onto school property will be charged. Now, Ricks of Rocky Mount was released after posting a $5,000 bond. And speaking of school, it's, of course, right around the corner, the start of school, that is, and now is a great time not only to, of course, do your back-to-school shopping, but get your back-to-school vaccinations. New CDC data shows that coverage rates for several key vaccines are falling below the recommended level, raising concerns about preventable disease outbreaks. According to the CDC, vaccination coverage among kindergartners has dropped between 92.1% and 92.5% below the 95% threshold needed to prevent the spread of illnesses like measles, mumps, and rubella. At the same time, exemption rates have climbed to 3.6% nationwide, the highest in decades, representing more than 138,000 children. Now, health departments across the country are stepping up efforts, hosting free clinics and reminding parents that vaccines are one of the most effective tools to protect students and communities. Now, Pitt County Immunization Nursing Supervisor Kayla Manning said, quote, "Children are required to have their early childhood vaccines before kindergarten. An additional dose of the Tdap and meningococcal is due at the 7th, and then a second dose is due at the 12th grade," end quote. Now, public health leaders say closing this vaccination gap is urgent, especially with highly contagious diseases making a comeback. They hope that with more outreach and easier access to shots, more children will be protected before stepping back into the classroom. And now we need to highlight your weather forecast. Today, we're starting to again see a little bit more cloud cover slowly started to spread over eastern North Carolina as rain showers are taking over. We knew again that we'd have a little bit more rain today, mostly because the humidity is just so high right now. And of course, that is now leading to some downpours and even some thunderstorms across eastern North Carolina. A lot of that thunderstorm activity right now focused over the Pamlico Sound and really kind of the coast of Pamlico County and the north side of Carteret County. That's where, again, we're seeing the strongest downpours and the most frequent lightning. But again, let's zoom the picture in on that zone. And yeah, it is right now working its way slowly to the east-northeast. Ocracoke may get scraped by that thunderstorm. Hatteras, you guys may catch quite a bit of it. I think Ocracoke's got a better shot of, again, seeing that thunderstorm roll overhead. But regardless, the Outer Banks, you guys are going to be seeing rain showers here as we make our way through the next, we'll give it about 2 hours or so, well, maybe about an hour and a half before a lot of those thunderstorms that we're tracking right now over the western side of the Pamlico Sound really start to move their way over the Outer Banks. And we're also again tracking more rain showers further back towards the west. Pitt County right now seeing some thunderstorm action. Lighter rain currently moving its way across Pender, Duplin, Lenoir, Wayne, Wilson, Edgecombe, Nash, and even parts of Martin, Halifax, and Bertie counties. No severe weather is expected coming up for today, but air temperatures will now start to come down thanks to those showers present. We got up to the low 90s in Washington as well as Swan Quarter. Stumpy Point still reporting 94 degrees. They have been high on those air temperature readings compared to surrounding areas here over the past few days. And well, speaking of high, humidity is quite high. Normally we would consider a dew point of around 75 degrees to be a high dew point. Well, all of eastern North Carolina right now, save for a husky, is reporting a dew point above that 75-degree threshold. So we are dealing with quite a bit of humidity, and that's what's again allowing these rain showers to get going so easily without any sort of larger system present. Now, over the past 24 hours, most areas have reported an increase in humidity thanks to the winds coming out of the west to southwest. Now, wind speed, not all that important, but wind direction, the longer it remains consistent, the more effective it is at changing your air mass. Earlier this week, we were faced with a northeasterly wind, so winds coming in out of the opposite direction, and that gave us that cool down, that more comfortable like feel that I'd argue most of the people in the Ironmonger family kind of got used to. Well, now the winds have shifted. We're back to a west-southwesterly wind, and that's leading to more heat, but more so more humidity throughout eastern North Carolina. So through the rest of the afternoon, air temperatures will start to come down into the mid to upper 80s. Some areas, again, going to be dropping off a little bit faster. Areas that receive thunderstorms will cool off at a much faster rate than what we're showing here. But again, not everyone will see thunderstorms. 79 degrees coming up at 8 turns to 78 by 9, 77 between 10 and 11 p.m. And we will gradually see a lot of those air temperature readings drop down into the mid 70s by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. Now, rain showers again going to be expected across the area. Thunderstorms absolutely a part of the forecast for the rest of this evening, but those should again slowly start to fade through the overnight hours. However, we can't get rid of them completely thanks to a low pressure system that's going to be rolling by our coastline, and that's going to keep at least a opportunity for rain showers present through your Friday morning as well. Of course, humidity will remain high, and so long as humidity is high, rain is going to be much easier to come by. So here's kind of a look at exactly what's going to be happening there. You can see that low pressure system passing overhead, then moving off the coast. It will be backed up by another area of low pressure rolling in on Saturday. This one will be significantly weaker, but still strong enough to, again, perhaps prompt maybe a few showers coming up for your Saturday morning. Now, let's talk about what everybody is wondering about. What is going on with the tropics? Tropical Storm Erin, still just that, still a tropical storm. Pressure at 999 millibars. We're expecting the next update to come down from the National Hurricane Center in less than 3 hours. Should be due at around 5 o'clock. Maximum sustained winds as of the 11 o'clock update were at 60 miles an hour, 70-mile-an-hour gusts, and moving west at 17 miles an hour. But the track of the system, again, continues to point this system kind of between, or at least trying to go between Hatteras and Bermuda. Still quite a bit of uncertainty at the tail end of that track, but the faster that turn occurs, the better it will be for us. Now, I think we're going to absolutely be seeing beach impacts here starting early next week, potentially by Monday, but certainly by Tuesday. We will start to feel higher surf along our coastline, particularly for beaches facing south or southeast. So those of you essentially kind of south of Cape Hatteras going to have a better opportunity for some of those higher surf zones, high rip current threats. Beach erosion could certainly be possible because this is going to be a major hurricane, at least expected to become a major hurricane by the time we reach Sunday. So that is a lot of wave energy really getting going and getting pushed towards eastern North Carolina through not only your Sunday, but Monday and Tuesday as well. And that will again increase that opportunity for beach erosion. And depending on how close Erin gets to our coastline, could end up seeing some ocean overwash as well. Now, still too early to make a call whether or not we're going to be seeing any sort of wind or rain directly from Erin, but we are anticipating at least those beach impacts already. So again, if you are planning on spending any time along the coast coming up next week, starting Tuesday and lasting all the way through the following weekend, do note that you will likely be faced with high rip current threats and some very angry seas. Surf is going to be quite high throughout the area. Now, I do want to zoom in on this zone. Again, has a medium chance. Now, I know it shows a low chance there on the right-hand side of your screen, but again, fresh update from the Hurricane Center as of 2 o'clock now has this system up to a 40% chance of tropical formation over the next 48 hours and over the next 7 days. Now, of course, that not going to impact us at all, but certainly something we do need to at least keep an eye on because, you know, this time of year, the tropics and their status, very important. Now, coming up, of course, next week, we're really going to be more focused on the rough surf. We could certainly see some rain showers, maybe try to work their way towards eastern North Carolina off of the circulation of Erin. But for right now, again, the focus for Erin is more on our beach communities because we still don't have a good quality read on exactly where Erin is going. But over this upcoming weekend, conditions are going to be very comfortable. Overnight lows Saturday night into Sunday dropping down to 67 degrees. That is going to open the door for, again, a very dry and comfortable air mass to really take hold coming up for Sunday and even Monday of next week. Now, yeah, heat's going to be up in the low 90s, but that's average for this time of year. We have gotten used to abnormal conditions so far in August, so getting back to the low 90s is pretty much exactly what the calendar is calling for. Now, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday.